Welcome to Adbond Team Mental Fitness, and it's Valentine. Please, let's clap for all the people. Yeah, we have pretty Miss Toby. She's the one representing Valentine in the. Yeah, please, let's clap for her. Let's clap for her. Let's clap for her. So, you're welcome to Adbond Team Mental Fitness for today, and this training is going to be happening in less than 15 minutes. 15 minutes or less, and my name is Oluwagbemiga Adekoya. Before we start today's training, and I think we are talking about team building, growing a team, and how to build trust. And 2 weeks ago, my colleague was talking about the role of relationship in bringing team together, and last week we started the impact of trust on how team can grow alongside with each other and then mutually achieve the goals that the organization have on desk. And don't forget that we've opened our training to emerging business leaders, small business owners who want to know how to build a team and also how to keep your team alive with information that we dish out here at Adbond Team. So today we are going to be talking about entrusting. And before we kick off the keynote of this training, I would like to just share some thoughts. And what did I want to share? There is a time whereby I'm the logistic manager, the secretary, the legal practitioner, the branding team, the video editor at Adbond Team. So there is a time that we have a lot of inflow of customers that we have to deliver in less than 24 hours to them for their contract. Mr. Steven was around, and Mr. Steven said, why not delegate this thing? And that word struck my heart that, okay, I should delegate it. So I tried to delegate it to someone, and then customer keep calling back for error after error after error. Before we now move it to another person until we figure out. So I now realize that it's like I've not fully trust the person who I will actually delegate this task to. And how am I going to see how to fully trust? So let's go into the training proper. We are still going to maintain the same quote that we used to open that of last week. And the quote is, trust is earned when action meets words in a repeated pattern. You know, I said something that I gave the contract part to someone and I realized that customer keep complaining after the other. That shows that the first complaint, I didn't withdraw it out. I still give a repeated advantage that maybe this person will do the right thing. And then when I now realize that it's like this person is not trustworthy in this line, then we move it to another person. It will make it obvious that this is not your strength. It's not like we are not trusting you with it, but we realize that we keep seeing the same loophole, we keep seeing the same error. So, and then that is why you have to move it to another person in the team who can actually make this work. So what does it mean to entrust? Is the ability to assign responsibility of doing something to someone. So ability to assign responsibility of doing something to someone. At Adbond Team, we have micro departments where everybody already know their responsibility, they know their task, that has been fully entrusted into their care, that even when you are not looking at them, they are doing what they are meant to do. Like Mr. Cyril knew that the logistic department had to take someone to site yesterday. We have to be in place for each other and then make sure that that works, and that does not affect the work of the media department. It doesn't affect the work of our brand personnel. It doesn't affect the work of our HR based on the new team member that we just bring on board. So this is one of the places where the protection of whatever that is at stake needs to be protected by the person who has to make this thing work. and that is where what it takes to entrust responsibility on each team player. So how can team and team leaders give trust consistently among team members? How can team and team leaders give trust consistently among team members? The first thing is integrity. And all these things that we are going to be saying, last week, if you check this, the tagline of the training, build and grow. These are the things you have to grow. Integrity is not something you earn in one day. It is something that you grow it gradually. And if you take a look at it, say the quality of being honest and having strong moral principle. You know, I think last year, our core value is just 4, which is tied: trustworthiness, integrity, excellent execution, and delivery. And as of this year, we've realized that we've been doing something a lot around innovation, and then we said, okay, let's add innovation to our values. And this is one of the things that will naturally make us to start thinking in line that will help us to keep getting the vision of the organization closer for the service of those who are meant to come and benefit, from what we have figured out that is a problem, and we have figured out the solution. And that is one of the key basic factor whereby you have to grow integrity. You have to see that your words, whenever you say 100 words and then you do 80, try to do the remaining 20, and then you grow yourself. What are the beliefs? What are the actions? Those are the things, the real ingredients that makes our integrity level to be totally accepted. So let's go to number 2. Number 2 is accountability, and this is the fact or condition of being responsible at individual level or at a mutual level in the direction of the team goal, with one thing: 0 excuses. And that is why we always recommend a particular book before you can be part of us at the full level, at the full team level. We always stretch it to our virtual team. It's still optional to you if you actually want to do it. The power of no excuse. No excuse in the sense that a client is available to go to site. Whether you are strong or whether you are sick, just figure out how the client will get to site. You already know that Thursday is site inspection. You should not be waiting when you already know that, you should try all the very best, or even if you are not going to use the logistic team at the office, try and get a cab guy who will help you to make sure that this works. It's at every department, the ownership of total accountability of whatever within your department, how it will work, it should be your challenge with zero excuse. Peradventure, if the challenge that is on ground is not above you, the very best thing to do is to just see how you can speak to someone above you that can give you some level of clarity and how you can solve that particular challenge that you are going through. That may allow you, that will not allow you to give excuses. So number 3 is an environment where people are constantly looking for ways to collaborate, and this is the action of working with someone to produce something. Take for example the content department. We come up with some ideas, and then we move to the media department. How can we transform this idea into visual? And then the 2 departments started going front and back, before they might come up with 3, 4, 5 different visuals before they will now agree that, okay, I think this particular visual, this particular video has total alignment with the content that we have brought out. And then that is when they can mutually agree, and then the research department and the content vetting department can now say, okay, I think this aligns and this can actually work pari passu. So, and if we take a look at it, is whereby one person is bringing his own in like a puzzle, another person is bringing his own like a puzzle. By the time they merge all the entire puzzle together, we see how we can achieve the mutual goal. So number 4 is an environment where individuals have the thought line for constructive criticism, and it takes some people who are open-minded towards opinion, suggestion, review, and feedback that will transform properly into growth. You know, if we are not open-minded, and then we have to be able to also deal with our emotions, because there is a way our emotions, you know, I think last week I was sharing an experience where one of my colleagues will always tell me, Mr. Oluwagbemiga, allow people to talk. If you don't allow them to talk, they will just, everything you will say will just be like, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. And at the end, everybody keep failing. Before you know it, you will just be the only one running the everything by yourself. So this is where we have to accept the truth and then keep the metrics. You keep the metrics, because once you keep the metrics, and then you can realize that, oh, this is wrong about me, this is wrong about me, this is wrong about me. Okay, good. And maybe your brain does not get to the level where they are actually giving you this feedback. And I think that there is one feedback that we receive whereby they're saying our communication is low to our customers. I just move, I look at myself, this thing is not my strength. I move, I look at who communicates better in the office. We started thinking, okay, I think Mr. Felix do this effortlessly. Mr. Felix do this effortlessly. Oh, let's give this role to Mr. Felix. Ever since we've given that role to Mr. Felix, and Ms. Ejiro has come into the company to increase the level of communication that we are hitting out to our customer, I can guarantee you that level of confidence out there have improved, and the fear customers have towards us has to an extent reduced. And that's why there is a formula that says when knowledge increase, fear reduce. But when you don't put sufficient information that can be valuable and for customers who are buying this product, you realize that the fear they will have for the brand will always continue to increase, and that will be at the detriment of growth. So number 5, lifelong learning. So lifelong learning is the practice of continuing to learn throughout one entire life, especially when you are outside the 4 walls of the academic environment. So let's make sure that we have a lifelong learning as a practice at an individual level, and also at a team level. So my recommendation for today's training is, number 1, be keen on things you love. You know, that's one of the metrics that we always hang on at Adbond Harvest and Home. Number 2, practice the act of slow communication and learn to repeat yourself, because we believe that people need to hear you more and more before they can validate what you really want them to change. The last one is follow simple instruction and rules within the society. Are you the type that breaks simple red lights at the junction? Try to follow those simple rules. Are you the type that when we say make sure you wrote your register when you resume into the office, try to obey it. Write your register when you come into the office. They are very, very little things, and I believe with this thing we can see how individually can keep growing. So the conclusion quote is, trust take years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. So thank you very much for joining us on YouTube and also on IG Live. So watch out for next week training, and we sincerely appreciate your being part of this training this morning. See you next week.